Nation are on fire!
I'm Matt Bonner, I'm 13, 8 and 1 and I fight out of Next Generation Liverpool. I got into MMA for self-defence I suppose. I started off with Thai boxing when I was 10 years old and then moved on to MMA through watching The Ultimate Fighter. And I think it was the BJ Penn Gents Pulver season and that's what got me into MMA, and then it was MMA from there on.
How did it come about you being at Next Generation Gym?
I ended up kind of almost being in a funny position where I was training myself for quite a large portion of my career, and then I had 2 losses in a row. My brother, twin brother, he fought elsewhere outside of another gym and he was having a lot of success in Thai box, and I thought I need to do the same. I need to go to a proper professional gym with some really, really good coaches, and Next Gen was the answer to that. I've been training at Next Gen for about 4 years, I believe. And that was definitely the best decision I made career-wise. Everything got an awful lot better. I had all my success once I moved to Next Generation.
You've got a fight coming up end of the month, Cage Warriors. How are you feeling at the moment where you are right now in training and just coming up to the fight?
I think the fight's on the 24th of March. It's about 3 weeks away this coming Friday. And I'm feeling good, to be fair. Everything's going well, no injuries. The last camp before this was probably the hardest camp I've ever done in my life. I kind of felt like almost touching on, do I want to do this anymore? Do I want to retire? And kind of never really felt like that before in my life, but the result of the last fight was really good, and then moving into this camp, everything has been the polar opposite. Everything's gone well, everything's been smooth and sharp, and yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to make a statement in this next fight. Ooh, 2 rounds, not too bad. I'm going to go for 4, but if I can, have a 5th as well, that'll be 5-5, so I've got boxing after this as well, so I need to leave a little bit in the tank for that, but the priority is getting in these sparring rounds at the moment.
What makes sparring a bit different?
I think it's the intensity of the spars. When you're doing your S&C and the technique, you don't take in mind the anxiety and the adrenaline that comes with sparring. And some of the guys in this room I've sparred with for 4 years, but you still get butterflies, still get nerves. And that's a good thing, but it can drain if you let it get to a certain level. So, and because there's so many different styles, constantly adapting, which in itself can be a little bit draining through the rounds. If you're sparring against one guy for 3 rounds or 5 rounds, you can kind of work out how to expose them. Where here, you've got one 5-minute round and then you're on to a different style, so that's why it's different in terms of the spar compared to the technical side of the game.
Yeah, so I'm fighting on Cage Warriors Unplugged. So it's a closed door show. So generally what happens is they give me 10 invitations and I can invite 10 people, and every fight will get those 10 invitations. So there's probably going to be about 100 people in the room maybe watching the fights. I've always liked it because I was fighting an awful lot when it was COVID regulations, and there was even less people in the room then. And that's when I won my world title. So it's kind of a nice callback to that. I don't mind there not being any fans there. It's nice to have your friends and family and whatnot supporting you, but when you get in the octagon, it's you and the person you fight and the referee, and the fans for me don't really play a large role in the fight. To be fair, I fought in Cardiff. That was the last loss, and that was a guy in his own town. And that was about like 3,000 Welsh kids wanting to kick my head in and all the rest of it. So that's the polar opposite. Maybe that's why I like these unplugged shows so much. But so that was a crowd. But I've not fought in the north for a good long time. I don't mind fighting with the fans there. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't matter if I've got a room full of people cheering me or a room full of people wanting me to lose. It doesn't really impact me as much as maybe it would impact other people. If you think of someone like Paddy, he kind of builds off the crowd. He absorbs all the energy off the crowd. Where I'm just a different personality. I don't do that for better or for worse.
What made you decide to go with Scotty? And obviously now he's here at Next Gen, it helps obviously. But yeah.
So I was originally going to message Scotty through Luke Riley, because Luke Riley has known Scotty for a good long time, and we all know how good Luke Riley's striking is. But for whatever reason, I never did kind of put it back to the back of my mind. My last loss was in Wales against Owen Elliott, and was probably about the worst performance that I'd had at that point. And I remember driving back home with my missus. Had driven all the way down to Cardiff just to see me get levered, and then we driving back, 3-hour journey back. And I was upset, and I thought, instead of being upset and whinging about this, what can I do now this second? And so that's when I messaged Scotty and said, I've literally just come off a fight, made a mess of it. Can we start working together and get my boxing sorted out and head in the right direction? And that's what I've done. And now my brother's working with Scotty as well. So I think that's kind of what I can do better than anyone else. Coming off a loss, I can have a change of direction. I'll make things right. It's a lot of guys just make the same mistakes over and over and over again. Where I'd like to think that I kind of fix my mistakes as I go along. So this is the Forge. This is primarily mine and Dan's. This is where we work, we make our living. As you can see, it's a small, humble little gym, but it does us for what we need it for. We both make a living out of it. And busy classes, packed out at the moment. We do the ultra boxing and the ultra MMA in here as well for cancer research. So it's good fun. Like I say, it gives us the flexibility to train in the mornings and to work around, get our training around work. Yeah, boss.
How long have you had this gym for?
I've had this, I think, for about 6 years. There was another location which we shared with somebody else, but we ended up moving over here, and it was the best move we made. So it's our gym. I live literally 30 seconds away, so I can come here with me nightgown and my slippers on if I wanted to. But it's handy. I bought the house just to make this this work even easier for myself, but Dan only lives 10 minutes away as well. Like I say, it was more how do you work our lives around training, and this was the way to do it. We can book in one-to-ones whenever we want to. We've got classes in the evenings, but it just frees up our life a little bit for training. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe.